Welcome to Welcome to Wealth and Prosperity. Today we're going to go over three things. We're going to go over dreams, we're going to go over goals, and specifically how persistence plays into both of these. So let's get into this quickly. So today I met an artist and we were kicking it off. We ended up going back to his place and he showed me a lot of his art and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm definitely adding him to my contacts for whenever I decide to buy some art next. But besides the point, we got to talking and we were both talking about our dreams and our goals. And whenever you get together with your friends and people that you know, you should really start talking about these things together, because whenever you talk to somebody about these things, you really start to get ideas going and you get to yourself in a new headspace. And I'm not going to tell you what you can get out of it, but you'll find out once you do it. It's different for everybody. It's like meditation. What happens to me is going to be different to you. We're going to start off, I'm going to go over what persistence means. In the dictionary, it is a firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Now remember that last part. In spite of difficulty or opposition. We're going to come back to this later on in the video. So dreams are a great thing, as in they can inspire us and really motivate us to the dream. The place we want to get, simple as that. But the problem with dreams is that people do not act upon them. And when you don't act upon your dreams, you fail because you never even started. And a lot of people don't do this because the dream is like a big puzzle and they don't really know how to break down the pieces. Nobody's really told them. They never really went over this in school. A lot of these things that are necessary to prospering and becoming fulfilled in your life, to keep wealth coming in and going, you must learn these things. These things they don't even teach you. So dreams are necessary, as in they will give us the bigger picture. Now there's stepping stones to get to this. And the stepping stones are our goals. And this is why I've been stressing over having goals. Because the goals are the stepping stone to getting to the dream. Because you see, if you don't start working towards these goals to get to that dream, the dream won't become a reality. It's when the goals are completed that in turn bring in the reality of the dream. So if you're wanting to get to wherever you are, you need to bring that about. And you should also have the mindset of whatever you're trying to do. If you want to be a millionaire, you should adopt the mindset of a millionaire. You should start reading books written by millionaires, their point of view. If you want to be a star athlete, you better be out there on the court all day, all night, working, exercising, eating good, doing everything that you should do to be a star athlete. Start assuming the position of whatever it is that you want to be. Act as if you are already it. But even though we can all have dreams and we can all have goals, it's not until we act upon them that something actually happens. And the first step is always the hardest step to take, but just take it one baby step at a time. And the bad thing is that people can procrastinate. And the thing about procrastination is that it doesn't really exist. It's just things aren't a priority to you. It doesn't matter. That's why it's so easy to push it to the side. Because when big things do happen, boy, you know well that we all make it a priority to get it done, or whatever it is, to get out of the way. We can either do it with our time, our money, or our labor. And usually it costs us all three of those. So what you need to do is whatever dream you have, and specifically the goals to get there, you need to start looking at them as the priority as you look at the other things that come up in your life as bad circumstances, and have the same mindset upon those and act upon them as if they need to get done now. Because you see, whenever you want to take out the trash, whenever your trash is full, you obviously go and take the trash out. And you're like, yeah, but that's easy. That you got to take the trash out. But that's the thing, it's that easy. But the ways to get to your dream aren't as important as taking out the trash. And that's a sad truth for most people. So you have to start acting upon it. You have to start pushing yourself, because if you don't push yourself, you can't even start to persist. Because the thing about persisting is that you keep going, you make it a habit. And once you start completing goals all the time, you're already conditioning your subconscious to become more productive. And becoming productive becomes a habit. And habits are formed by the subconscious. So you have to keep doing them. And once you keep doing them, that is when you persist. And you can't give up, because when you walk from point A to point B, there's no failure. There's no way you can fail unless you die. You may fall. You may get hit. Someone might come by and knock the hell out of you, but you can still get up. That's not a failure. And most people look at getting knocked down as if it's a failure, and then they give up, and that's why they never get to the other side of the road. You got to keep going, and that's the simple thing. As long as you keep moving, and let alone start moving, you have to start moving. A lot of people can't even do that. Just start moving and keep on moving, and you've already pushed yourself up to the 5% of people who become very successful and rich in their life. And so when you start moving, you end up keep moving, and that's persistence. And like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, the ending of that said, the continuance of a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. So whatever comes across you, you overcome it. Those little things, those little circumstances that I talk about, that's why you have to get them out of the way, because that's the only way you can persist, because persistence is a key ingredient to getting to your dreams. So those big priorities that you have, those big circumstances, you need to look at your dreams as if they're bigger. Those other things, those aren't anything compared to what you really need to be doing. So sit for yourself and start thinking about what it is that you dream to be, what you dream to have. And I should have really made a video on kind of figuring that out, but it's hard to cover all that ground. But I will do it. And I will be productive about it. Because you need to live by your word. But not only just by your word, a lot of people walk the walk, or actually, a lot of people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. Don't talk about it, be about it. And so, the reason that I brought up the artist house that I went to is because while we were talking, every now and again, he would start pacing back and forth, and then he would go straight down to the table and start working on this painting that he was working on the whole time I was over there. Now, he started it before I went over there. I don't know how long he had been working on it. But whenever I talk with somebody, I don't just get what they're saying. I also look at the body language. I also see the symbolism and what's going on. And that will speak to me in a sort of sense. And what I saw is he kept going back to it. There was a light on the painting. Now, with photography and being a painter, or, an artist in general, light is very important. And you don't let anybody get in the way of that light while you're painting or taking a picture. And that's why I didn't get in the way of his light, because I knew not to do that in the first place. But the painting is almost like the dream. And you cannot actually get it all down if there's other people in the way of that light, if there's circumstances in the way of that light. You've got to let the light shine onto it so that you can get it done. A lot of people don't get things done because they let their friends and family get to them. They let opinions get to them. And you can't do that. You can't let anybody get in the way of the light.